Welcome to the UltraCycling Magazine show.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to another exciting UltraCycling Magazine show, the show about all things long distance riding, all things bicycling in general. Hey Lee, hey Loretta.
Hey, how are you guys?
Very good.
I'm pretty good. I just got a call from my neighbor across the street. She looks after me, and I have my front door open. I got it's a windows open kind of day here,
Mm-hmm.
and I know she wonders why that is. So I probably ought to take a moment here to text her and tell her that. So
Hey Lee, who is the show brought to us by?
say again.
Who's the
Oh,
show brought to us by?
uh, uh, it's brought to us by the time.
Yes.
Sign out on the road, Jim.
Yep. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube. Ring that bell and push that like button.
Yeah.
I think next up is our WBR, Lee.
Yeah, I see it. Well, the I finally got. Uh, I've got to change browsers over here on the runabout because I'm running into those problems I've had
Right, that we
before.
had last time. Yep.
So I'll do that in a minute. But
Okay.
the World Bicycle Relief got an award from Fast. What is it? Fast Speed for the two-speed drive.
Yep.
And this is a remarkable thing. I'm going to let Jim talk about this while I change browsers over here.
Yeah, it's a very unique design. There's no shifters involved. Basically, what the person on the right does is pedals backward really quick for a short period of time, and it'll change to the other gear. You have two chains and two gears all on the same bike. So the other advantage of having this design is out there in the middle of nowhere, if you break a chain, perhaps you've still got the other chain to go, so you can get home and get to a person that can fix it. So it's a great thing. Very unique design.
Yeah. And then my neighbor just showed up at the door over here. Just want to know if I was okay. It's nice to have somebody look after an old guy.
There you go. You're not old,
Well,
Lee.
she's a wonderful person. I ought to have her on the show sometime. She's an old Army helicopter staff, and so that's what's going on here. And I
Nice.
didn't get that changed. So
Gotcha. I think we got an update on.
on Safian,
Yes.
yeah, I don't really have an update except I did talk to his partner who lives in Paris this week.
Mm-hmm.
Had a little text chat with her, I should say. And he's okay. He's not complaining. She says that may be due, in fact, that he's used to tough situations.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, he was trying to set a Eurasia record from the Atlantic coast in France or Spain
Mm-hmm.
to Vladivostok, Russia, and he got trapped by Russian bureaucracy, and he's in prison. And so we think about him. We'll stay in touch with him. But I did chat with his partner. She seemed to feel that he was okay,
Good.
and so that's the story there. That's all we know about that at the moment.
I think we got news next. 16-year-old Indian attempt to set a cross India record. Lee?
Um, yeah, I had a great chat this week with. I'm just going to call him Colasso.
Mm-hmm.
That's the name he chooses to go by. He lives in Mexico. He set a record in Cuba, a world UltraCycling record there, and he'll be on the show next week, and
Mm-hmm.
that will be recorded um, because I could only catch him for a short time. But I thought, well, he was good for a 15-minute chat, and we spent an hour together, and he is just a delightful person. You will enjoy him.
Mm-hmm.
No Country for Old Man is on right now, and I think you'll find the link on our Facebook page to the tracking there. I haven't looked at it recently, but the 1,000 mile still in progress.
Mm-hmm. And Loretta, do you have an update on our good friend Lefty?
I do have an update on our good friend Lefty. So I reached out to him the other day and I asked him, would it be okay if I just share an update with our broadcast tonight? And this is what he sent me. So I'm going to read right straight from what he sent me. He's just a nice person.
Definitely.
Yep. So he said, I'm doing good. And keep in mind that he got on the trainer for 5 hours the very next day after he fractured his collarbone.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's very inspirational. But he said, I'm doing good. Putting together furniture one-handed the other day after surgery. More frustrating than usual, but glad to have a nice wife to help with it. Surgery was good, and the surgeon said he'd never seen blood vessels like mine. Had to keep asking the anesthesiologist if my vitals were good because the vessels were so big. I put a lot of priority in getting on the trainer while my bone was broken because I knew I would have to take some days off and surgery to let the incision heal. So I rode 16 and a half hours on the trainer the 6 days before surgery.
Mm-hmm.
His next update is depending on how things go, I'll be back on the trainer in a week or two and then be able to ride the bike in 3 weeks. The crash happened during a gravel training for next year, and I was thinking of going to a gravel event, the Mega Mid-South, on November 1st. Depending on how I feel, I may still try and tackle that.
Wow.
Yeah, he's so inspirational and so strong, mentally tough. And his attempt, he was yesterday, or Friday, I can't remember if it was Friday or, it was on Friday. He was going to attempt a world record, which was supposed to be a 12-hour gravel record.
Mm-hmm.
There's a good chance that he's going to try and squeeze that in this year as well. And he needs to do something else to finish off the World Cup. And lastly, he's so funny. I'm jokingly thinking a broken clavicle is my entry to the next stage. So,
Yep, that's your badge of honor, I guess. Yep.
Join the world of ultracyclists and have you had yours broken, Loretta?
I have twice. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
fun. And I can tell you, I did not get on my trainer the very
I
next
think
day
maybe
for
Jim
5
and I are the
hours.
only two cyclists in the world
I think so, Lee. That's what I was going to say.
who
That,
haven't had their clavicle
knock
broken.
on wood that we don't end up doing that anytime soon.
Which
Have you
brings-
guys fractured your clavicle?
No.
Neither one of you have?
Nope.
Knock
I
on
said,
wood.
there
Good
you
job.
go.
Jim and I are the only two people who probably haven't had our clavicles broken. I see my lights getting in the way up back there.
Yeah, you're good, Lee. It's okay. It's not
Yeah.
too bad. It's probably like my pumpkin behind me. It's not too distracting, but
Yep.
How
So there's
about
the
Jim? You got your Halloween decorations out yet, Jim?
I've got most of them out. The bikes go out tomorrow, so
I want a photograph to
We
show
will
here
have
on
one.
the show.
yes.
And by way, just make an announcement. November is going to be another All India month. And we're going to have all people from India, starting off with Srinigal Kulnath, who's going to be here for the World Time Trials. And he will be in the United States. And it'll be our regular time, Loretta. And
Okay.
so Srini's one of our good friends here. He's a doctor in India and a great ultra cyclist. And
Hmm.
he promised me that when he retires, he's going to become one of our reporters. So
Excellent.
we
Nice.
look forward to that.
Yeah.
So
I know, Lee,
and
you already talked about the next week's show, but I'll go ahead and pop that up real quick.
yeah, I got a lot of order, but I do have the
The date book,
tracker up
yes.
on the new on the other
Right.
browser now, so I
And-
shouldn't have
yeah.
that problem again. Yeah, well, I already talked about him, but Colasso will be here next week recorded. I think you'll really love talking to him. What it's like to ride a bicycle in Cuba and the challenges there too. Wonderful people, wonderful place, he says, but there are such challenges as money and other things that one ought to be prepared for, and maybe not a good place for vegetarians to think about spending a lot of time.
Gotcha. And
We'll get into all that next week. You'll
there you
love
go.
it.
And for all of our viewers, chat is live. Post your questions or comments, or just tell us where you're watching from, and we'll give you a shout out.
Exactly. Let us
Yep.
know. Don't be shy.
Yep, definitely. So, is it time to introduce our honored guest tonight?
Yes, Scarlet. I spotted her news article, Scarlet Zeigler.
Hey guys!
How are you? Glad to have you with us.
Thank you so much for having me tonight.
Spotted some news articles about her, and I thought, my goodness, 16 years old, with our emphasis on trying to encourage youth, we've got to have this young lady on the show. So we're going to try to turn it over to Loretta, let her take the bulk of the work here, Jim, and I'm going to sit back and relax.
Okay, well, welcome, Scarlett. It's good to have you. When Leah shared that you were 16 and shared a little bit about your bio, I thought, well, we got to get her on the show. That's really super cool. You're only 16 years old. But before we went live on here, we talked a little bit about that you also sing. I think that's pretty cool. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh my God. So my dad, when he was when he was a kid, he really, really enjoyed music and bicycles. So he's actually a lot like me. And he, when he grew up, he became a touring musician, and then he had a kid, which was me. And I was like, the first time I ever saw him playing music and performing on stage and just like living that whole world, which I grew up in, and like the earliest memories I have of my entire life were that. And I was like, I want to do that one day. So I finally gotten the chance to now that I'm like 15, 16. I've always had music as a big part of my life. And yeah, it's becoming a part where I can start singing. And it's just been a dream. So
Very cool. So I got to ask, do you ever sing on the bike?
yes.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah, it's actually like one of the best ways to like strengthen your lungs, both for cycling and for like singing and performance. And I sing while I'm training, while I'm riding and like on the rollers and stuff. It's like So,
That's funny. That's really funny. It makes the time go by faster too.
oh,
So
it does.
So I want to start a little bit back when you were 13 and when you and your dad biked the Great Divide, and that is from Canada to the U.S. border. So I want to talk a little bit about what you learned one pedal stroke at a time. So your first thing I'd like to ask you is, what went through your mind when you and your dad landed in Canada and you started putting all your bikes together? What were you thinking? Oh my gosh, did I make a mistake, or this is going to be so fun?
So we were mainly thinking of please let nothing have fallen out of the hole that's in the side of the bike box. Please let nothing be damaged. We can't figure out how to fix that right now. We've not been out of the country yet in our lives. We don't have passports. We don't know what we're doing. So we were definitely more worried, kind of just that we'd like remembered all the logistics. The breakdown happened before we got on the plane, got in the car to leave for the airport. I like freaked out. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing? I don't know what's happening. But when we got there, we kind of got the bikes put together and just like really started feeling real. Like this is what we're doing. And we just kind of we faced it as like we're gonna break it down. So when we got to Calgary, we're like, we're gonna ride to Banff, which is the actual start of the official divide. And we're like, we're going to make it there, and we're going to go from there, and we're going to see how we feel. And then if we think this is going to really suck, we're just going to turn around. We're going to go back to the airport. which we didn't. And then we're like, okay, we're gonna make it to the border, and then we made it to the border. We're like, this is feeling pretty good. We can make it to Idaho, and then it just kind of like kept going like that for like state by state until I think we got to like Pinedale, which is our midpoint. We're like, okay, we can make it to the end. We
That's
can make
really cool. Very cool. I read that you called it the trip of a lifetime. What
Yeah.
made you feel that it was a trip of a lifetime before you even began?
Okay, so I was 13 years old. I worked at a goat farm 2 doors from my house. I was a homeschool student. My grandmother had Alzheimer's, and we had moved from the coastal North Carolina, to have my mom take care of her. And I'd been like not sedentary. We traveled a bit, done some tours here in Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Virginia, Maryland, kind of up along the East Coast here, New York a couple times, Florida, and but like this would be me leaving for a month and a half at 13 years old, the summer before I started high school, and like there's so few kids that have that opportunity and have
Sure.
that chance to do that with parents that are like, able to accommodate and support that sort of a thing. And it was like it is the trip of a lifetime for anyone really. Like to just have that opportunity to drop everything and go ride my bike for a month and a half at that age, like yeah. Because you also got to remember, like we're not a rich family. We're not like like someone's a doctor and got a lot of money. Like we're just middle class people, and yeah, it was just kind of like an ethereal feeling of knowing that this was a chance that I could have and that I would just take it and run. So
I understand you went with your dad. So, is there any time during the trip that you were got mad at him?
um no, not really. There's a couple times that he got mad at me.
Okay, that's fair.
There's one time that we were having a minor like panic about just stuff happening here at the house that he didn't like, and he was like yelling at my mother over the phone while we're riding, and I'm like, Dad, stop yelling. Take in the scenery. Can we not? We do this at home. Can we not do it on the road? But that's like the only thing I can remember that like we had
Okay.
issues. Because my thing is, I'm not a massive fan of talking while I'm riding. Like I'll sing, but I don't like talking to people because like there's you have the wind in your ears and everything.
Sure.
And it's like I like it to be like my personal experience. Like it's what I'm riding and what I'm seeing and what I'm like feeling. And he's very much a talker, but like kind of understands that the best way to not get mad at me is to not really talk to me too much while we're like pedaling, and then when we're like stopped, we can do it. But no, we just kind of settled into a rhythm, and just like it definitely kind of deepens your connection when it's just you and one other person
Yep.
out on the road, and it's like it's life or death. You're not getting cell service, you're not getting restocks for food for 2, 3, 4 days. We had a time where we didn't do laundry or get a shower for 2 weeks. Like it's yeah, you end up just like kind of growing closer
Yeah.
as a relationship between two people, and it's like you have to trust each other, you have to rely on each other, and it's definitely something that like I don't think we really expected, because it wasn't like it's our first venture out into the world together, but it's like this is the biggest thing we've ever done. This is the most insane thing we've ever even attempted, and like they called us crazy for the things we did before this, and now here we are. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but no,
What?
I can't remember a time that like we were really, really like mad at each other. Honestly,
Good.
yeah.
What part did you realize you riding from Canada to into the U.S.? What part of that trip were you at 13 years old? Did you realize, oh my gosh, I'm really doing this? I'm cycling a month and a half with my dad.
Um, if I'm being honest with you, I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't. I
Yeah.
don't know if it ever really hit me that it was like it was a real thing. Because like obviously you touched on in Calgary, and you're like, okay, this is it. This is my life now. But like eventually you just like it switches you into this mindset of like, I don't have a home base at this point, because you don't. If you're out on the road for a month and a half, your home is your bicycle, and you are sleeping somewhere different every single night, and that is your life. And it's like, you eventually start viewing it as less of a trip and more of a lifestyle, because it's like, if you're viewing it as a trip, you can't extend a vacation time into being a month and a half. Like, you can't think that way.
Right.
Like, I have issues thinking that way if it's like a week long trip. Like, it has to, like, become a lifestyle at this point. And that's what it was. And it just like, it felt big, but it felt like kind of comforting, I guess. It's just like
Nice.
having that routine, having that, like, I don't know what I'm gonna face tomorrow or later today, really, or where I'm gonna sleep tonight. I don't know what's going on, but I'm just gonna ride with it. I'm just gonna keep riding, and it's like constant comfort in that unknown. And yeah, eventually you hit a point and you're like, I don't really think it can get worse than sludging through a mud pit in the rain while getting bit by like 1,000 mosquitoes at the same time. And I think we're going to be able to make it through the rest of the trip after we made it through this.
Yeah.
And then you have a massive double rainbow as soon as you like get through that muck and you like start sobbing and you're like, yes. Okay. So yeah.
Did you see any unknown things like a bear or snakes or anything like that?
Yes. We saw a bunch of stuff. So we had a black bear. We didn't see any grizzlies, thankfully, because we didn't really want to see grizzlies. But we wanted to see a bear. We saw a black bear up in Canada, which was really cool. We saw a moose. We rode through, like, and when I say rode through, I mean like we're in the woods and you look everywhere and there's elk everywhere. And it was like surreal being like, oh my God, I'm actually in a herd of elk right now. Yeah, we saw. What did we see? We saw a rattlesnake. We saw a bunch of tarantulas, which freaked me the crap out. I can't eat peach rings anymore, because I was eating peach rings at one point, and then Dad's like, "There's a tarantula on your bicycle." He was just trying to scare me, and then I got like really freaked out. It's
It's
like
funny.
peach rings are now traumatic. Apparently, I am terrified of rings.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was crazy. Because the other part of that whole thing was we're in New Mexico, and it's like coming towards the end of monsoon season, right? So there's like these monsoons coming in. And obviously, tarantulas are ground creatures. Like they can sense this weather coming in. So they're trying to find higher ground, and the only high ground in New Mexico, southern New Mexico, is the road. So riding and you're like, you can't see them because like, we're just trying to keep our heads down, like keep out of the rain and stuff, but we have no idea where they are. And then suddenly you're like 3 inches from one and you're like, ah, spider, big spider. And yeah, so yeah, that was an interesting few days.
Very cool. Very cool. So fast forward to 3 more years now that you're 16, and I'll ask you a couple more questions, and I'll turn this over to Jim and Lee and see if they have any questions before we do some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
So first, as in your short life at 16 years old, how do you handle setbacks, like injuries, or if you crash, or tough training days? What advice would you give to a 13-year-old who's aspiring to be an ultra cyclist and wants to do these kinds of trips?
Okay, so I'm lucky. I haven't actually wrecked my bicycle since the divide. I only wrecked once there, and I've like somehow managed to not wreck since then, which is like, I don't know. I feel like that should be some kind of another record because I've never met someone who hasn't wrecked in 3 years and is 16. And yeah, like my bike's blown over, but like I've never wrecked, and there's been plenty of times I should have, but like I haven't. So, um, I think my thing is, and this goes back to really anything you do in your life. I say this with my singing, with my music, with my writing, and my school, getting into college. Like, you ask yourself, how bad do you want it? And if you would give up everything to make that a reality, then there's really no question on what you should do. And it's like, it can get harrowing when like I'm really sore from training for 5 days and I need to do it again today, and I really just want to go back to bed, and I have assignments due, and I'm sick of like everything. But it's like, how bad do I want it? Well, I want it really freaking bad. I
Yeah.
do. I do. And if you can answer that question honestly and be like, yeah, I do want this. I want this to be a lifestyle. I want this to be who I am. I want this to be the rest of my life. Then you'll be like, yeah, I can do this. And that's my go-to question. And maybe it's probably not what you're wanting to hear, but
No, no, it's fun. It's
yeah,
perfect.
that's mine. That's what I say to myself. So yeah.
How do you balance being a teenager with balancing that with doing something so demanding as ultracycling?
Um well, I think at this point I've sacrificed a lot of the atypical teenager parts of things. Um but no, it's just like I really do love cycling. Like I always have from a very young age. And going out and doing these trips, it shows you there's a bigger world than the drama or
Yeah,
the life of a normal teenager, I guess. Um, or I shouldn't say normal, I should say like atypical. And it's like you were like I end up falling into this with the people that I hang out with and the people that I'm involved with here in Dover, Pennsylvania, back in my home life. And it's like sometimes like I just get really sucked in of like this is what's she said and all the things, but it's like there's such a huge world out there that I'm lucky enough to have seen, and I'm worried about a comment one girl said about me
Mhm.
to someone I don't even know. Like, why? You know? Um and I really think that's helpful, and I wish every kid gets like would have gotten or gets a chance to like to see something bigger than the town that you live in or the
for
school that
sure.
you go to or whatever it is. Because like I see so many people that acquaintances, friends, and they get pulled into like just drama and just like being a teenager. And it's like see this world that we live in. Don't limit yourself to this town because there's so much more to life than
Mhm.
what's happening to us right now. And
Indeed. Indeed.
yeah, because like I also run into quite a few different circles. I've got my School of Rock circle, which is people my age, and they're awesome people.
Yeah.
I
Nice.
love my group. I love my band so much. I have a band outside of School of Rock, my own band, and we're all School of Rock graduates or people that have since not gone anymore. But that's another one of my groups. Obviously, people I go to college with, people I work with, and then I have this group of people. When like the cycling world is so so vastly different than anything else
Mhm.
that I'm involved with because
How so?
we all live in
How,
Pennsylvania, right?
how is it different? How's it
Okay,
different?
so like we all live in York County, Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah,
And yeah, we all see vaguely the same things every day. But it's
sure.
like then I'm on a call with what? Two of you are from Ohio, one of you is from Michigan, and we've got people watching this from everywhere. And I ride for a company based in Leeds, England. I ride for another company, and it's like it's such a big world,
Mhm.
and it's like
Indeed. Indeed,
it's
it is. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and I've met so many people through experiences like this, through just going out and riding my bike, and it's so vastly different. It's just a massive, massive world full of people who are so open minded and so accepting and loving and caring that it's different than any other group I've ever met.
I'll agree with that. Some of my closest and best friends are through the ultra cycling community since I started doing this. I wouldn't change it for the world. But one last question before I turn it over to Jim and or Lee, and then before we get to the rapid fire questions. So what's on your schedule for 2026?
Okay, so that's a hard question. I don't know. There's so much that's up in the air. I've
Yeah,
talked about the idea of doing the divide again and racing it. We are thinking about doing a family trip to Italy, depending on what's going on kind of in our family at the time. But the two ones that I'm like really, really, really hoping to be a definite are going to do the Dales Divide
nice.
over in England next April, and then I will be racing at Sea Otter Classic. I will
Nice.
also be at Sea Otter Classic at the Restrap Stand all weekend. So if you want to come see me, come there. I will be there.
That's really cool. That sounds really fun. Lee or Jim, do you guys have any questions for Scarlett?
Yeah, what other kind of racing have you done in the past? Have you done any racing, other than these tour kind of things?
Yeah, so I raced BMX
Okay.
for 5, 6 years, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was when I first moved to Pennsylvania when I was 7. We started going to the track, and I started racing then. And that was a really, really cool experience.
Hmm.
Traveled all over the East Coast. Got to go to Tulsa, Oklahoma, to race the Nationals finals once, and yeah, that was a really, really cool few years.
Wow.
It's fun to watch the people that I used to race with, because some of us are still involved in BMX and still race, and some of them have also moved off. One of them just left uh, yesterday to fly to Australia to do the triathlon worlds.
Hmm.
Max Spencer, he's
Yeah.
awesome, and
Nice.
yeah, it's super cool to kind of see everybody has like kind of moved in our different directions, and those who have stayed in BMX have like made it like super, super serious.
Right. Now I know you kind of have an unofficial world record. Are you planning on doing any other world records?
I'll get back to you.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's
I gotta
fine.
think about it. Yeah. No, I've definitely considered it. I think I want to move more towards the ITTs, and
Okay.
setting things along those lines. I
Gotcha.
enjoy kind of going out and seeing routes, because my father's a route planner. He does. He really likes making routes, and I really like putting it down on the map and saying, "Hey Google, can you take me here?"
Right.
um, but it's like I do know that those people who are involved in route making, like they love it so much, and it's almost like an art form. Is
Yeah.
like seeing this, and then they want to showcase this part of their country or their state, and it's like, oh, this is what really matters to these people.
Hmm.
This is like what they want to show me, and it's really, really cool to see that, and to get a chance to try to.
Excellent. Lee, go ahead.
Well, you mentioned the company, and I know you have a sponsor. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, so my sponsor is Restrap. We're a bike packing bag company based in Leeds, England. All of our bags are handmade. I've gotten to go to the factory a bunch of times, and I think what always really stands out to me is how much everyone in there loves just working there. Like, you don't go to a lot of corporations or factories that people are actually happy to be there. But like, everyone's got a smile on their face. They all want to tell me what they're making and like what they're doing, and then they'll ask me like, so why does everybody really like this product? I had this like just a couple weeks ago. I was at the factory, and so one of the seamstresses was making race race stem bags, and she's like, everyone really likes these. Can you tell me why? I'm like, oh yeah, I can tell you why. Those are like one of my favorite products, and I was like, it's because of the mesh pockets. Everyone loves the extra pockets, and I like it because I can turn it inside out and wash it that way.
Hmm.
It's just really cool to be in there. Management is amazing. I love the guys. So when I say the Restrap guys, I mean all of them, all of the people that work there, all the people that I ride with from there, all the people that are just friends with the company that come out to ride with these people that are working with this company, and somehow just like they just love it. And it's like no one rides for Restrap, no one works for Restrap if they don't love what they do.
Mm-hmm.
There's not one person in there for the money. There's not one person in there just trying to make money or to just find like a job. Like, they're in there because they have a connection to the company and what they're doing, and it's just a really, really awesome thing to do.
It's really cool. Very, very cool. All right, so my favorite part of these interviews is rapid fire questions. I give you two
All right.
choices, and the first thing that comes to mind. Okay, are you ready?
Okay.
Okay. Post ride pizza or a smoothie?
Probably smoothie.
Clip-ins or flats?
Clip-ins, obviously.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
No, no. So, no, you're good. A rain ride or a wind ride?
Rain ride.
Ice bath or a foam roller recovery?
Sorry, can I hear that again?
No, sure. Ice bath or foam roller recovery.
Oh God, I hate both of those. Probably the foam roller because it sucks, but
That's
less
funny. That's funny. Favorite bike brand?
like bike brand
Yeah,
or
like a Trek, Specialized, whatever you're at. What's your favorite bike brand?
probably salsa because I know
Yes,
put
okay.
in there
That's
and
fair.
they're just really
Okay.
cool. I ride a custom frame from Mayam Cook bicycles.
Very
Oh,
cool.
hi, Jackson.
Dream cycling destination. Where would you go?
Ooh. Oh, that's really hard. Um, man. Well, okay, so I really like climbing. So I really want to go to the Alps and ride there.
Very
Wow.
cool.
The Badlands, that race sounds just it just looks amazing.
Brings me to the next one. Climbing hills or flying down descents.
Oh God. Don't make me choose. I love both of them.
Fair. That's fair. Favorite ride song.
Oof. Well, it depends on like what type of riding and what time of day and what the weather is and what road I'm riding and where I'm riding. But the one that I can think of because I was listening to it in the car on the way home and I was like, oh, this vibe is Paralyzer by Finger 11, and that one is riding paved roads, preferably through like a civilized community before the sun comes up, before anybody else is awake.
Sweet snacks or salty snacks on the bike.
Sweet snacks.
Gravel or road.
Mm, probably gravel.
Last one. Early morning ride or late evening spin.
Late evening.
Late-
All the way. All the way.
Yeah, thank you so much for being part of this. I am just, you are just so incredibly nice and smart and well wise beyond your 16 years of age. I'm pleasantly impressed. You're a very cool person and you're an inspiration to so many people out there. So thank you again for being
Yes,
part of the show.
thank you so much for having me out.
For all the other young ladies out there that are they're thinking about cycling, what would you say to them?
Oh, that's a good one.
I would say do it.
Do it.
Go get a crappy bike, whatever bike you have in your garage, and go just start riding. Just start riding around your neighborhood. Start riding around the roads that are by your house. And if you're like, man, I really like it, go get a bike. Go get a decent bike.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, if you go to your local bike shop, they'll help you find something that's really, really good for you. That's gonna work for what you want. And just go out and do it. There is no one in this community that's going to judge you for wanting to start riding. It doesn't matter if you are 6 years old, if you are 16, if you are 26, if you're 46, if you're 76 years old, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to start riding. Just do it. Go
Yeah,
out.
speaking of that, I just saw this morning that an 80-year-old finished Kona yesterday.
Yes.
I thought that was super cool.
It's awesome. You can
Yeah.
do it at any age. It's like, yeah.
I was following you, like, how far is she on the bike? How she's on the run, and she beat the time cutoff. It's really super cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lee, any last words?
Well,
Jackson,
you had one little taste of what it's like to ride all night, 24 hours.
yeah.
I was going to say over here in Ohio, we have some challenges for you if you'd like to try that kind of thing again. We got Calvin's Challenge, 24-hour, and it's a Ram qualifier. The Midwest 24-hour. Hey, come over here and enjoy a little bit of Ohio and get your name in the record books over here.
All right, maybe I will. It sounds fun.
Yeah, a couple of them, and one's in early May, and the other's
Mid-May.
in the last of July.
Yep.
If you like, I'm not going to mention cold country. Yeah, maybe that sounds like she might like that, though.
You got a lot of climbing on that one.
A lot of climbing, a lot of
And
gravel, and some places even not sure there's roads, but yeah,
Yeah.
the others are paved.
I think you might like cold country. I would encourage you to take a peek at that and see what
Yeah,
you
I'll
think.
check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okie doke.
All right, Jackson, I have a playlist. It's called Cycling. It's got like rock music and Taylor Swift and like literally anything that's upbeat is such a mess. But yeah, that's my playlist.
Very cool.
Very
Excellent.
good.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank you.
so much
You're an
for being with
inspiration
us.
to everybody.
Thank you for watching. We didn't have a lot of comments. I saw one comment. Did we get that, Jim?
Yeah.
I didn't see any. Okay, yeah, the music playlist, yeah.
Oh,
Yep,
okay. Yeah,
that
I
right
didn't,
there,
I didn't catch it. But thank you so much for being with us. Stay in touch. Let us know what's happening.
Will do. Will do.
We'd like to follow your career a little bit.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be great. So, Jim, you think you can find us, Greg, out there? Don't go away.
Yeah,
We'll
and
do great
remember
stuff.
next week's show, tune in to our recorded show and watch, and you can go ahead and post comments and we'll respond.
Yep, we'll see them.
Nice to meet you, Scarlett.
Yes.
Great to meet you guys.
This is Gregory Zuber, thanking you for watching and sharing.
Music by Kevin MacLeod.